Question 1. A bank received a subpoena regarding one of its clients. The Financial Intelligence Unit of the bank should review the subpoena and Option A. Perform a transaction review and respond fully to the subpoena. Option B. Adjust the client's risk score and close the case. Option C. Close the client's account by informing the client of the subpoena. Option D. File a suspicious activity report, including the receipt of the subpoena in the SAR narrative. The correct answer is option A. Perform a transaction review and respond fully to the subpoena. The Financial Intelligence Unit of the bank should perform a transaction review and respond fully to the subpoena. This action ensures compliance with legal requirements and provides necessary information about the client's transactions. Adjusting the client's risk score and closing the case, choice B, does not address the subpoena's requirements and could result in non-compliance with legal obligations. Closing the client's account and informing them of the subpoena, choice C, is inappropriate as it may violate confidentiality and does not fulfill the bank's obligation to respond to the subpoena. Filing a suspicious activity report, SAR, that includes the subpoena in the narrative, choice D, may be warranted under certain circumstances, but it does not replace the need for a thorough transaction review and direct response to the subpoena itself. Extended rationale, the correct answer remains A, perform a transaction review and respond fully to the subpoena. The best way to analyze this question is to identify the precise AML, compliance, investigative, regulatory, or financial-crime principle being tested and then connect the facts in the stem to that principle. The correct option is the strongest choice because it most directly addresses the specific circumstances described in the question. In professional compliance work, conclusions should be based on the complete pattern of available information rather than on a single isolated fact, and the same approach is useful when answering examination questions. The other answer choices may contain concepts that are valid in different circumstances, which is why they can initially appear plausible. However, a distractor should be eliminated when it introduces a different legal process, investigative step, risk indicator, reporting obligation, authority, or control than the one actually described in the stem. A useful exam strategy is to compare the defining feature of every option with the strongest clue in the question. The correct answer should fit those facts without requiring assumptions that the question never provides. From an AML and financial-crime perspective, unusual activity does not automatically establish criminal conduct. Financial institutions generally assess activity in context by considering factors such as the customer's known profile, expected transaction behavior, source and destination of funds, ownership information, products and services used, geographic exposure, transaction frequency and size, supporting documentation, and applicable regulatory requirements. When the observed activity differs materially from what would reasonably be expected, the institution may need to conduct additional review, document its analysis, and follow its established escalation or reporting procedures as appropriate. For examination purposes, focus first on what the question is specifically asking the institution, investigator, compliance officer, or other party to identify or do. Next, separate the facts that are merely background information from the facts that actually determine the answer. Finally, test each option against those decisive facts. Following that process confirms A, perform a transaction review and respond fully to the subpoena, as the most precise response. This reasoning method is valuable because it helps distinguish closely related AML concepts and makes the underlying principle easier to apply when a future question presents the same issue using a different scenario.